A new report now that caught our eye, saying that Buffalo is right near the top, going from rust to renaissance. Commercial Cafe looked at Rust Belt cities and how well they're turning around after decades of decline. Only one place in the entire Midwest and Northeast got a higher score than here in the Queen City. I will show you the rankings here. Again, looking at a huge part of the country. The researchers put Madison, Wisconsin in that first spot, but Buffalo is right there, as you can see, at number 2. Now, the report points out among all the Rust Belt cities with at least 200,000 people, Buffalo and Madison tied for first place when it comes to population growth. That's big. We saw a 7% increase here from 2017 to 2022. Many other cities saw their populations go down, and you can see how we outperformed other spots like Columbus that came in 3rd, and even major cities like Chicago and Philadelphia. Nearby Rochester ranked 8th in this list. Jonathan Epstein reported on this story in today's Buffalo News, and he joins me now live. Jonathan, always great to see you.
Thanks for having me again.
So you talked to a bunch of really folks who follow this closely in Western New York, folks in the banking field, in the research, education fields. How are people reacting to seeing this?
I mean, positively overall, no question. Everyone's enthused to see Buffalo perform well, especially in a comparison against other major cities, peer and larger. That really says something about what they've been trying for and what they've been touting for a number of years with the different efforts to bring Buffalo back.
Yeah, I mentioned population growth there, which again, I mean, for decades and decades, Buffalo saw its population go down. We knew that that was a big sort of step in the right direction. What else in this report stands out to you and to how we compare against these other cities?
I mean, even in something like fighting poverty was one of the areas. Buffalo is still, certainly a very has a record of being a very impoverished city overall. But the fighting poverty effort here in Buffalo was noticed in this report as being among the top. If not, I think it was tied for number 1 in one of those areas. We had 4 number 1s out of the various categories. 4 number 1s and a number 2. That's pretty strong, especially when considering, as you pointed out, Philly, Chicago, St. Louis. I mean, these are major cities that were in this. The only major cities actually within that whole region that weren't even looked at in the study were really Boston and New York, and that's because it was focused more on the Rust Belt, region. And I don't think anyone considers New York or Boston to be Rust Belt.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Philly as Rust Belt.
I was too.
I think it's because it's in Pennsylvania, right? And Pennsylvania is considered to be a Rust Belt state.
I think, plus, I think some of those southeastern Pennsylvania areas, Bethlehem and likewise, certainly have a history of steel making and Rust Belt industries.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think a lot of people will watch and say, and we've covered this, the east side of Buffalo that is still so in need of development. There are pockets of the city that have not been part of this revitalization. How does that factor into a report like this? You celebrate the positives in it while recognizing with all Rust Belt cities a lot of work still to do.
Well, I think that's exactly it, that there's still work to be done. You don't sit on your laurel. You try to move forward and see what other opportunities there are for further improvement. I think this is kind of a pat on the back for Buffalo officials that have been touting these things for years, whether it's the Buffalo Building Reuse, the new Green Code, Queen City Hub. This shows they're gaining some traction, but at the same time, as was noted in the story, there is still areas to focus on to improve, including the basic level of poverty that we have, as well as the commercial real estate development that is lagging right now, especially in industrial real estate and areas like that.
Yeah, I only have 30 seconds left, but I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about exactly that. Today, interest rates got cut by ½ point. Do you think that jump starts the lag that we've seen in commercial development? You and I have talked about this. You've covered it a lot. A lot of projects right now are on hold.
Yes, absolutely. absolutely, and I think it will help. I think developers are going to want to see a little bit more than just the initial half point. I think most people were expecting that half point already, so it's seeing what kind of path there is for lower rates. I think if you see another rate cut beyond this one, I think that'll help quite a bit more. Because as one developer, Douglas Jamal, had told me recently, you can account for a lot of things, but a doubling of interest rates, that does a number. Absolutely.
We're going to be hearing more from Douglas Development coming up tonight at 6, talking about the Statler. You do not want to miss Jonathan Epstein's reporting in the Buffalo News. You can go to buffalonews.com right now and read that. Great to see you, sir. Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you.